A special switch-on broadcast for the 2017-2018 elections, introducing our vice presidential candidates Mohammed Abdullah and Falis Abdi Salan, and our presidential candidates Abdullah Maksud and Ghazal Faisal. So here's how today's show is going to work. I will interview the candidates, first the vice presidential candidates and then the presidential candidates. Then, the vice presidential candidates will have a chance to come up and say their speeches. We'll conclude our show with the presidential candidates' speeches. So, let's start with Mohammed Abdullah. Okay, Mohammed, so why should people vote for you?
I think people should vote for me because I'm well organized and a well managed person. I believe that I have experience with leadership, and then that really helps me and I also believe that I have good teamwork skills. I'm also trying to lower down the cost of a lot of the events and activities that Kipling holds, so that a lot of people can have the chance to participate and engage with other people.
Okay, so next question. Give us an example of how you've shown leadership here at Kipling Collegiate Institute.
I'm in the leadership program. I volunteered for multi-night. I've also volunteered for Wellness Day. I've been in one of the march for the Quebec shooting march, and I've also volunteered for the camp activities. I've also led two of the Science Olympics this year for Kipling, and yeah.
All right, last question. What is your most memorable moment as a Wildcat?
I think it's camp, because I really enjoyed camp. I also led the activities. It was really fun. I got to meet a lot of new people. I got to interact with new people, and I had a lot of fun. All the activities were great, and yeah.
All right, so next candidate, Falis. Okay, so in your opinion, what do you think is the best way to get students involved in school activities?
Okay, I feel that having someone go up to especially newcomers here at Kipling, I feel like someone going up to the newcomers and asking them what they want to see in Kipling, and also just having more announcements and more flyers around the school prior.
Okay, next question. If elected, how will you ensure that Student Council represents the voice of all students and advocates for their concerns and needs?
Okay, so being fluent in both Somali and English, I feel that I could establish a good voice for the Somali students here at Kipling. I feel that some of the Somali students here at Kipling don't really have much of a say when it comes to sports and leadership and stuff like that. So having that type of platform to communicate with them, that'd be good, because then I could bring them forward to leadership and SAC and stuff.
Okay, last question. Give us an example of how you have shown leadership here at Kipling Collegiate Institute.
Okay, so I've done Wellness Week here at Kipling. That was basically teaming up with Miss Kate and 5 other students at Kipling and setting up a lunchtime booth which talked about mental health and mental illness. I've also been in leadership in grade 9 and 10. I'm taking a leadership course. I've conducted a workshop with the grade 9s here at Kipling, and that was just last week, and yeah.
Okay, so next up we have the presidential candidates, Abdullah Maksud. So Abdullah, what would you say is your greatest weakness?
My greatest weakness probably would be not having a chance to speak to everyone in the school, because there's a close circle around me and I don't really have that opportunity to talk to everyone, get their ideas. That's why I was running for this position, just so I could gather everyone together, have one voice for everyone.
Okay. So a lot of the times it seems as though only senior students come out to participate in school events. How would you engage students from all grade levels in student council activities?
So as I was gonna talk about it in my speech too, this year not that many grade 9s participated in any of the activities. So what I would do is have a specific house where there would be students from grade 9, 10, 11, and 12. There would be different students in different houses, and they would have a day where they get to know each other and everyone is together.
Okay. What is your #1 skill, and why would it be important for this position on student council?
My #1 skill would be taking leadership in activities and having responsibility. And why that is important is because this position is about taking responsibility for everyone's voice and leading them to a good life and new future, basically.
Okay, last question. If you could be any celebrity, who would you be and why?
So if I could be any celebrity, I would probably be Emma Watson. I know she's a girl, but just because she knows how important education is. She knows what she wants, and she goes for women voices. And this past year and stuff, with all the things in America and all the sexism around the world, that was a really important thing in our society.
Okay, thank you. Next up is Gazelle. So Gazelle, what is the most important change you want to see at Kipling, and how would you go about to make this happen?
So an important change I want to see at Kipling is I want all the students to get involved. So I'm going to do this by having an online polling option. So for the students that are not as involved with student council or simply just don't have the time, they can go there and they can pick decisions or make decisions that are going to be affecting them. So perhaps Spirit Week options or dance themes, they can have an input on those even though they don't come to student council meetings. Yeah, that's
Okay, so next question. How will you bring school spirit to Kipling?
school spirit, sorry. I'm gonna do this by advertising. I feel like advertising is really important. So just putting flyers everywhere so everybody knows the events that are gonna come up. Also, I feel like we need to get the school to become closer, because the closer the school is, the better our school spirit would be.
Okay. What is your most memorable moment as a Wildcat?
My most memorable moment, probably going to camp, leadership camp. I didn't go for the past 2 years, but I decided to go this year, and I don't regret it at all. It's been a great experience. I got to know people that I didn't know as well, and it's been a great experience, and I don't regret anything.
Okay, last question. Kipling is a relatively small school. How might that affect your plans for next year?
Since it is a small school, I feel like it's better because I get to know everybody more, and it's in less of a larger school. So this way I can connect to more people, it's better than having a larger school. It's having a smaller school, since I can connect to people that way easier. Yeah.
All right, next up we'll move on to our speeches. First up is Phallus.
First, I would like to start off by saying good morning to all students, staff, and faculty, to all the people who make Kipling a safe and fun place to be. My name is Fals Abdisalan, and I will be running to be your vice president in the next school year. I hope to make Kipling a more comfortable environment in the year to come, making people feel more included and for no one to be left out. This year, I have nearly completed a leadership course this semester and have established a good foundation of what a leader should act in order for their people to prosper. Last week, I visited a grade 9 science class and conducted a workshop with them that talked about the different problems, not just in our school, but also in our society, to help educate the youth. Lastly, I am part of the Somali Youth Program, which revolves around the empowerment and representation of Somali women in the community, which leads me to my next point. As you may remember, 2 weeks ago, Gazelle and I had a suggestion table where we collected your opinions on what you would like to see at KCI next year. We kept all of them, and they were all fantastic ideas, but one of them stood out to me, especially, and it was about representation. If you may not understand what representation is, it is basically what you may stand for that is being shown, may it be through media or society in general. An example is BTS winning a BBMA award. This is the Korean music industry, and many of my friends and peers were excited about it. The reason I thought about this is because since I was little, there is barely or little representation in my life. I never saw any Somali woman do something great until I got into media. And not mainstream media, but simple media that talked about real issues and not who the Kardashians were dating. It then dawned on to me that I could represent my community through SAC. I want to do something for young Somali girls and boys who think there's no point in running and how they won't win. Rather, I want them to become someone who people look up to in the next generation. Even trying and running for a position could show them that they actually could do something, even if they don't win. Before I close off, I would like to add that new faces on the SAC will help produce new and creative ideas for the next school year. Instead of promising you guys things that have been done before, I will work hard with student council to bring fresh ideas, some of which include a student playlist that would be played in dances, outdoor activity, and many more. Kipling, I hope you understand fully where I'm coming from, and tomorrow me and my campaign partner Gazelle know you will get the multiple choice right.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Abdullah, and today I stand before you for the position of Vice President. Now many of you might know who I am, and most of you don't, and I feel bad for those who don't. Now the reason why I'm running for this is because I love this school, And I truly believe that I have the potential to make Kipling a better place. Because I believe in myself and abilities. And I believe that with my skills and your ideas, we can bring about a change in this school. Something you all need to know about me is that I never give up. I believe in myself, and once I make up my mind, I work hard on it and strive to the very end, no matter how hard the task may be, no matter how the conditions may be, and no matter how lost I may get. As Martin Luther King once said, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Now, by agreeing to one of his issues, does that make me as smart as him? Yes, it does. Now, the only reason that people succeed is because they keep on trying. And I believe that every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. Now, you guys might be wondering why you should vote for me. What have I done for Kipling that would make you believe that I'm committed and willing to carry out my duties? Well then, here are some reasons why. I am in leadership. I have volunteered for 2 Science Olympics held in Kipling. I've also led the camp activities for this year. I've also volunteered for multi-night, and I've also volunteered for Wellness Day. And I'm also volunteering for Hilltop that's gonna go on next week. Okay, now all that might not seem like a lot, but it's only been like 7 months for me here at Kipling, and I want to do more through Student Council. Now, if you think about all these successful people, you wonder how. Well, it's because they had the hunger for success. And I also have the hunger for food. Success. So, I, Mohammed Abdullah, ask you to vote for me as your vice president, so that together we can make Kipling better. So that together we can break the barriers that separate us and become united. Because together, anything is possible. I hope to lead Kipling to a brighter future through you guys. Thank you everyone for listening to me patiently, or I assume you were. Oh, and one more thing. If I win, I promise to give each student, teacher, and staff member Starbucks. Well, you gotta pay for it, of course. No, thank you.
Good morning, KCI. As you may know, my name is Ghazal Fazal, and I am running for president in the 2017 SAC election. Throughout my years at KCI, I have put in a lot of time and effort towards making the school year more enjoyable for students, whether it be volunteering in leadership activities within the school or community. I have also been part of the leadership program here at KCI, and I have helped with planning and organizing events. Despite my other commitments, my main focus for the upcoming school year is most definitely Student Council, and I'm willing to put in 110% of my effort in making the next school year the best it can be for all of you. As president, I want all members of the school to have a say in the events. Many students come to dances, Christmas breakfast, and participate during Spirit Week, but not as many are involved with Student Council and have a say in the decisions affecting them. Me and my campaign partner, Falis Abdislan, don't just hear your voice, we are the voice. I'm hoping to bring an online polling option for the students that are not as involved or don't have the time to come out to SAC meetings. This way, they can have an input in the decisions such as dance themes or Spirit Week options. By doing this, I hope we can represent the entire school population instead of just a fraction. One of my main goals for the next school year is to subsidize the cost of events, including semi-formal and prom. Growing up, we all have the dream of going to prom and wearing our dream dress and tux and having the time of our lives. But some of us can't fulfill this dream because of our financial situation. As president, I will try my best to fundraise every month, whether it's selling samosas or baked treats. I will make sure to lower the prices of these events in order to accommodate students at KCI. I want everyone to have the best experience during high school because time does really fly, and I don't want money to be the barrier to any of that. Another very important thing I want to bring to KCI is new events. If elected, I will try my best to make events such as dance battles, outdoor activities, and student dances. I hope to take our ideas and yours and create activities and events that can be enjoyed by everyone. By doing this, I hope I can create a comfortable environment for the students in our school, especially the grade 9s, as they will be new. To end off, I would just like to say that I'm fully committed, absolutely dedicated in making the next school year the best it can be for all you. Now it's time for you to decide whom you want to lead your school. I bet you want someone that's driven and focused on working for you. That's me. This school year, Nafia. The next year, Ghazal Fazal. KCI, I believe that on election day, you will get the multiple choice right and vote for me as your president and Falis as your vice president. Thank you.
I'd like to say to everyone and anyone who's running with me or against me in this election that I have great amount of respect for all of you for taking time out of your busy life to make this school a better place for everyone. Now, I'm sure that we all are here for that. Well, if we all have the same goal, how does that make me any different from any of the other candidates? Well, right now, I have an opportunity to talk about myself for full 3 minutes. I'd obviously cherish it and tell you as much as I can about me, myself, and I, and yet keep it all about you. So don't you worry, I'll tell you everything that makes me different. 1. As Julius Caesar once said, experience is the teacher of all things. I have experience with SAC. Everyone here is going to see SAC with new eyes and are going to adjust to the idea of it, while I'm already in SAC as I am the grade 11 representative. And I would build and improve on everything that was set up by our current SAC members. 2nd, for the past 2 years, I have dedicated myself to leadership club, and with the help of leadership and SAC, I have gotten a chance to organize many activities in the school. Things like I was the head volunteer of the multi-night this year. I helped in organize activities at the overnight camp we recently went to. I was in both the memorial walks. One of them was for the Quebec mosque shooting and the other about women's rights for the Montreal massacre victims. I've helped in planning for this year's prom, and I was sent to the TDSB Super Council as a school representative. Now, these are some of the things that I've done. What about what I'll do? First things first, the thing I'm most excited to talk about, schoolhouses. Okay, not exactly Hogwarts houses. Let me tell you what I think. So what I found most saddening about this year was that grade 9s and all the newcomers that I had in our school barely participated in any of the school-wide activities just because they didn't feel comfortable enough and they didn't know that many people. So next year I want to divide our school in houses, each house having some students from grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, and maybe have a day designated where the houses come together for a full day of activities. I would have a lot more fundraisers in our school so that we can have more great opportunities for all of you. I would encourage more student voices and decisions for prom next year. Well, along with all that, I want to have a suggestion box outside of the office available to your fingertips because I want to make this school a better place for all of you. We have to create change so that we can have an incentive for all students to come to school, and in a school that prides itself for having equality, let's make sure everyone's voice is heard, because I don't believe that I'm the voice. I believe I'm the speaker that is going to project your voice as we are stronger together. My name is Abdullah Maqsood and I'm running for your president. Now, not to be cocky, but considering I was amazing in the last year's track and field team, I think I'm amazing at running. I mean, I did get 2nd position at the regionals, even though it was a race between 2 people. Now I ask you, would you rather vote for someone who has experience with student council or someone who isn't? I would have done a mic drop, but this is not my mic. So, thank you all.
Switch on broadcast. Voting will take place tomorrow in your homeroom classes. All students who are not graduating this year will be able to vote. So, Kipling, who will you choose to be your president and vice president next year?